Welcome back, everyone, to Lore of the Shadow, where last time we managed to wake up an Ent so that he'll be able to take care of Nurzum. Now it's time for us to leave Wildermore. But before we do that, I need to take up some unfinished business. Hello. Thank you for freeing me. I am no longer bound to this place. Therefore, I will not be a nuisance to anyone. Best of luck along your journey, and best of luck to yours. Farewell. I am free! At least somebody is. Well, I suppose it's time for us to head on back over to the Sucross. I have returned to the Intuade with Horn and Gleowine, and I also have back with me Pine Moss. Our little cub decided to stay in Wildermore because the temperature is more suitable for a polar cub up there. So let's see what Hoonbald has to say. Yes?
Nothing has changed. I have not received word from Edoras that you may pass.
Hoonbald's scowl deepens when you declare your intentions to pass anyway. Still you defy my charge and that of my king. This cannot be. I cannot allow you across the Entwash. It is a command of Theoden King, and I will not betray my duty. The two of you have seen battle, I am certain of it, but this white-haired fellow has seen none that I can tell. Would you have me raise my sword against an old man?
Wait. There is something familiar about that man. Is it Gleowine?
Gleowine, is that you? The minstrel of Theoden? On what account do you accompany these folk? Gleowine sheepishly steps forward, and you realize that Hoonbald has never been told about the minstrel's exile. It is you, Hoonbald continues. Is that true, what this child says? I've seen battle. What this child says. Gleowine responds quickly, and Hoonbald muses in silence. After a time, he continues. If you will speak for these others, I will allow the three of you to pass. I am merely a simple man from the Eastfold, but you are held in confidence of the king, and must know his mind more thoroughly than ever I could hope to. For the good of my king, and for the Riddermark, I will allow you to pass. Do not make me regret this choice. I would cast my blade aside before I raise it against you, such as you. I presume he means Gleowine. All right, so it's time for us to head for Edoras. I have arrived at the barrows outside of the city of Edoras. Before the gates of Edoras, burial mounds of the king stand beside the road. And for a change, we don't have any dead rising out of them and attacking us. Well, that's welcome, especially this close to the city. Now, let's see if I could find Horn. You rode off up ahead as I was taking in the scenery. Ah! Here's Horn right now.
We have returned to Edoras, and death is upon my mind.
Will Theoden King heed the warning that we bring, or will he answer our words of caution with admonishment and more final decrees and exile? Horn looks at the mounds to the left and right side of the road. How long has it been since Meduseld was raised, and how many kings of Rohan sleep here in death? 10 and 6 mounds for 10 and 6 kings. Will the Evermind blossoms cover another mound before this war's through? Or will no good men remain to build it? Let's continue into the city. Our errand is urgent, and we have little time for my dark musings. Yeah, he certainly. Let's enter the city and die! Right, one last look over there. And now, you have discovered Edoras. Glaewinus steps ahead and stares at a magnificent white horse. Yeah, that's quite a horse.
Unless I am very much mistaken, that horse is Shadowfax, Lord of the Maris.
The king gifted Shadowfax to Gandalf the Wizard some months ago, rather against his wishes, truth be known. It seems that the horse has found his way back home, riderless. The king would be pleased if he does not already know mighty Shadowfax has returned. That will brighten his countenance for certain. He may be more willing to forgive our defiance of his command as well. Well, let's continue onward to the Golden Hall. I'm ready. You sure? Okay. Now, one more horse-related errand we need to conduct.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Well, be happy we're not in Wildermore. Let's see. How about that one? I think this way to Mediceld. Let's see, where's... Oh, hey, I guess that's Mediceld. Does this city really need this many stairs? Well, considering how high we are, I suppose it does. We entered way back there? Well, I suppose we should go inside. Though I suspect that the... Yeah, the door word is still there. Hello, Hama?
What brings you hither against the word of Theoden?
Well, that's not a good start. This is not the first time you have come before the Golden Hall of Mediceld. It is in my mind that you were sent from here in disgrace by command of the king. What brings you hither against the word of Theoden? How many unwanted visitors will bring ill news here today? Well, what, is there a convention of ill visitors today or something? Hama notices your puzzled expressions and continues. You are not the only unwelcome guest to come to Mediceld this day. Some are within the Golden Hall this very hour. Okay, well, that's not going to put him in a good mood, is it?
You are not the first to come here today.
You're not the first to test a word of my heart's against the command of the king. Do I compound an earlier error by allowing you into the hall? Or do I make all right with a single throw? Hama sighs heavily. Never have I rued this post so much. The will of Theoden is clear, but I don't believe that you come here with evil intent. You speak of dangers of the north and all around, but returning here brings the greatest danger upon yourself. Is that not the truest sign of your good heart? The king must be told what you have seen. Speak with me when you are ready to continue into the hall, and I will take your weapons as is the custom. Then you shall proceed before the king, and we will see if I have misjudged you. I hope for your sake, and for mine, that we have. Have not. Yes, have not. Okay. Ooh.
If you are willing, I will take your weapons and bring you before the king.
Know this. Once you step beneath the roof of Mediceld, all chances of repent of your defiance are gone. Oh well, here we go.
We have returned to Meduseld against the king's orders, but we do not seem to be the only ones coming to the Golden Hall to speak words of warning.
We are not alone in the hall of Theoden. Let us approach and see who has the ear of the king. But we will interfere only if it be the interest of Rohan to do so. All right.
Theoden, son of Thengel. I have returned, and I bring warning and wise counsel. A storm is brewing. All good people must stand together or be destroyed.
I greet you, Gandalf, but why should I welcome you? You bring troubles wherever you go. You say a storm brews. I say you are its herald, a bringer of woe and ill tidings.
You speak wisdom, my lord. All around us the news is grim. It is not 1 week since your son and heir Theodred was slain on the western marches. You cannot trust in Éomer. He would empty your city and leave your treasures unguarded. And now Gondor tells us that the Dark Lord stirs once more in the east. It is curious, is it not, that these are the days in which this ragged wanderer returns to us.
A worker of evil may come in fell times, Grima, son of Galmod. But there are also those who come when they are most needed, when days are darkest.
I did not mourn when Shadowfax came back riderless, Gandalf. The return of the horse was made all the greater by lack of the rider.
So it was, my lord. See his rags? Have you ever seen such a beggarly figure?
The courtesy of your hall is not as it was, Theoden, son of Thengel. Has your door ward, Hama, not reported the names of my companions?
I see only churls and vagabonds, and you the worst of them all. Be gone with you, and leave my lord to those who do not wish him ill.
You know not of what you speak, Grima Wormtongue.
Uh-oh. He made a wardrobe change. Ah, Pinelore, I am glad that you made it here from Wildemore so quickly, but I will need to hear your report of the land at another time. All of us here have work to do, for the king is not yet free of danger. Keep an eye open on Grima, if you would. He is slippery, and I fear that he may intend further harm upon the king. Whether he can work greater harm than he already has performed is a question for which I have no answer. Stay on your guard. He doesn't like Grima either.
Theoden, I offer you my counsel, if you would have it. I have ever been a friend to the House of Eorl, and would not see it come to its ending.
Nor would I, Gandalf. But it is so dark. So dark.
No, my friend. Not all is dark. Behold! Beyond your darkened windows, there is light. The skies shine above, as they always have. Will you heed me?
Now I see the shadows for what they are, Gandalf. They are fleeting, like a grim memory. How came this to be?
So that is done. I think that went rather well, considering what was at stake. We have so little time to waste, and much depends on my haste. We cannot spend these precious moments squabbling amongst ourselves when the real foes are without. Save on, Grima, son of Galmod, called the Worm Tongue. He is an enemy of Theoden and of Rohan, and he remains within. His fate will rest with the king, as it should. Okay. The real foes are without. The one that is not without is Grima. Okay. For a moment I thought he wanted us to save Grima. Oh, okay. The joys of English. Rohan and Theoden are not free of danger yet. Still, we have work to do. So, what's the plan?
It seems your road entwines with ours for a pace or two more.
I would not celebrate so quickly were I you. War has already come to Rohan, and its drumbeat deepens with every passing hour. We are beset on all sides by evils both known and unknowable, and to be near Gandalf is to be near danger. Oh, Grima would say that I brought the danger hither. I don't doubt, but I say Gandalf goes where he's needed, and for this day and every day that is where the danger is deepest. Alright, so what do I get? Gandalf's favor, Gandalf's gift, or Gandalf's grant? I suppose I take the one that... Now, traditionally, there's a rather stiff jump at this level. It looks like that is still true. Yeah, quite a jump in there.
Much has transpired since last we met, but my companions can give their account.
I guess they can. As soon as I don this earring, I will... There you go.
Much has transpired since last we met, but my companions can give their account.
My own account will take too long to tell, and from any other would beggar belief. You would trust my tale, I am certain, but then only because you have experienced some things nearly as peculiar. Know this, I bear tidings both glad and sorrowful. The task set before our mutual friends at the last homely house is still ongoing. Though some of that company are here with us in the Golden Hall, some others carry still the burden of its destination. The errand is not yet done, but neither is it abandoned. Those be the glad tidings. I will let Aragorn tell you what this joyful news has cost us, for it is not brought without strife. Oh, wonderful. We got Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. Well, what do you say?
We meet again, my friend. I am glad of it.
But there seems to be a shortage of friendly faces in this land. One man of honor I met, and he was imprisoned for his kindness to me. What was that all about? Gandalf gives you the joyful tidings and leaves me the ill news. It has been 1 week since our fellowship was sundered in Parthglen along the banks of the Anduin. Boromir of Gondor fell there. He gave his life protecting the halflings Meriadoc and Peregrine, but they were borne away by great orcs of Saruman. Others went another way. I had to make a choice, and I chose it. We will not abandon Merry and Pippin. I don't know if I chose right. The orcs were destroyed before our pursuit ended, and Gandalf tells me the hobbits found safety. Should I have done otherwise? I can't say, but now we must do what we can for Rohan, and put behind us what regrets we may have. All right. Well, what do you say about this, Gimli?
I have cloven a number of orc skulls since we last met, but it is not enough.
Ha ha ha! Yep, Gimli's the same. What have you done with your time? I have cloven those orcs. Not enough, though. Some of their ilk led us on a merry chase across much of Rohan, and my chest fills with pride to tell you that I outpaced even Legolas in this race. I may have been winded, true, but Gimli Glowing Sun did not abandon the pursuit without need. When we caught up with the Uruk band at last, they had already been slain by men of Rohan. It has been 2 days since our pursuit ended, and I have nearly caught my breath again. I have never run so far or so fast in all my days, and I would be content to stay in one place for the rest of them, if that place were a mountain with good stone and deep roots. Okay. Well, what do you say about that, Legolas?
It is good to see you again, though we are met on the very precipice of danger.
How have you fared since last we spoke? Uh-huh. What is it that your people say? You have gone from the frying pan into the flames, and the frying pan was hot enough? You have had adventures to spare, Pinelore. It seems that we have all done. I am glad that your own journeys brought you to Fangorn, as did mine. I could spend years exploring beneath the canopy, never feeling the passage of time, were it not for the pull of that which moves my feet. Once our friends are safe, perhaps I will follow that pull to where it leads. Legolas noticed your quizzical expressions, and his usual laughter melts away. The sea, Pinelore, he responds. I speak of the sea. Yep. And King Theoden. Oh, does he toss me out by my ear?
I feel as if a heavy shroud has been lifted from my sight.
My days were filled with dark dreams, and my nights were no different. What foul craft of Dhima's is it to blame? No, not his doing alone. It was my weakness that allowed him to dominate my mind. Well, no longer. I am myself again, and free of his whisperings. It is well that Gandalf arrived here when he did, and that Hama allowed him to pass the threshold. That transgression I will forgive. Grima may be intended further mischief. Indeed, I am certain of it. Leave Meduseld and speak to Hama. Tell him that I want Grima's chamber searched, and my sister son, Eomer, released from prisoner. These actions were poorly done, and must be righted. Okay, so, I need to speak to Hama, and that is what we'll be doing in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.